Hey guys, it's Sarah, and today we're going to do a Kindle haul. I'm going to let you know all of the books that I have downloaded lately onto my Kindle. I have bought 3 of them, I think, and then all the rest are from NetGalley. NetGalley is a digital review book service that you can sign up for, and you can request early copies of books that are coming out. And you do need to be approved in order to get access to them, but they are all digital. So you have to have some sort of e-reader to be able to read them on. But it's a service that I've been using for a few years now. I absolutely love it. And I have gotten quite a few. Okay, we'll start with the ones that I purchased. I got all of these for $1.99 each. I usually don't pay more than $1.99 for an ebook because it's a download, so I don't want to pay a lot of money for it. But the first one is This Is How I Lied by Heather Gutenkopf. This popped up as a $1.99 deal, and I think I saw it on her Instagram. She advertised for it, and I grabbed it because she's an author that I really do want to read from. I haven't yet, but I have a few of her books now, so I really need to make sure I pick one up here soon. But as soon as I saw that, I went ahead and grabbed it. So this one is a thriller. And this one follows our main character, Maggie, who is a detective, and she is called back to a case that she was involved in when she was young. And when she was a teenager, her best friend was found killed, and she was the one to discover the body. And there were a lot of suspects happening, but no one was ever actually prosecuted for it. So they don't really know who killed her best friend. So now as a detective, years and years later, she comes upon the fact that there's some new evidence in this case. So it kind of becomes a cold case opening back up, and she's involved in it. So that sounds good. This next one, I completely blame on Lindsay from Lindsay's Little Library, because she talked about this in one of her editions of What's on My Kindle. She's sharing everything that's on her Kindle, and she's doing different parts because she's sharing absolutely everything that's on there. And this was on her Kindle. And when I heard her talk about it, I went and downloaded it because it was only $1.99 to purchase. This is also available on Kindle Unlimited as well. So if you have that service and you want to read it for free, you can for the services, whatever. Okay, so this is Girl Gone Mad by Avery Bishop. And this follows Emily, who is a therapist. And when she was in high school, she was part of this clique of girls who were bullies. Basically, they were really, really mean to people all the time. And they ended up driving one girl to a breaking point because of their bullying and their harassing and stuff. And something happened to her, and they made kind of almost like a blood oath, like, we will never, ever reveal the truth of what happened here. And so years later in the future, Emily's a therapist, and it turns up that one of those girls in her circle commits suicide. And then not too long after that, another one does too. And it's starting to look very suspicious, like, oh, really? Or are we being picked off because of what we did in high school? So that sounds very interesting. And as soon as I heard Lindsay talk about it, I went and downloaded it. Okay, the next one that I have, I also got for $1.99, and this is The Last Flight, and this is by Julie Clark. And this is one I heard a lot of really good buzz about, and I was interested in it. So when it popped up for $1.99, I was like, yeah, I'm going to take that. And this one follows our main character, Claire, who lives this very lush lifestyle, if you will. And she's married. She has a staff of 10 people. She has a very active social life. Like, she's living a good life, right? But behind the scenes, obviously not all is as perfect as what it seems to the public. So she's actually looking for a way out. She's looking for a way to escape her life. She's not happy. She doesn't want to be there anymore. And she runs into somebody at an airport when she is there to take a trip. She runs into somebody at a bar in the airport, and this woman is actually looking for an escape herself. They both kind of find themselves in a similar situation where they're both trying to get away from something. And so they make a crazy decision to switch plane tickets and go in different directions. And unfortunately, one of those planes crashes. So definitely in for that. Okay, so now we're getting into the books that I got on NetGalley. Some of these I requested and were approved for, and some of them were books that the publisher sent me pre-approved links. So that was very generous of them. So thank you. Okay, the first one that I have is The Hunting Wives, and this is by May Cobb. This one is already out, so it has already been released. And this one follows our main character, Sophie, and she gets married and moves from Chicago to Texas with her new husband. And they are settling into this really nice neighborhood. And she's turning out to be a little bit bored, a little bit more on the bored side. It's definitely a different way of living down there. And she ends up running into and meeting this woman who is part of this club called the Hunting Wives. And it's kind of a little cliquey group, and they have some fun together. You know, there's some partying happening. There's some late night target practice happening, you know, stuff like that. And she ends up being part of this group, and something ends up happening where a teenage girl, her body is discovered in the same area where this wives group meet all the time. And so Sophie is left wondering what is happening. Is someone here responsible? What's going on? So I've heard good things. Okay, the next one that I have is called Love Scenes. This is by Bridget Morrissey, and this one came out in June, so this one is out as well. And this one follows Sloane, who is an actress, and she actually just lost her TV gig. So she's looking for work, definitely. And her family are also in the movie industry, and they are producing a World War II either TV show or movie or something, some sort of production, and ask her to help with the production of it. So she agrees to do that. However, when she gets there, she realizes that the lead character, male actor, is someone who she has worked with before and did not get along with at all. So she's really dreading having to work with him again throughout this whole process. His name is Joseph. He is Irish, and he is extremely handsome and very, very charming, but he doesn't have a very good work ethic. And that's what drove her nuts about him. And one day, the lead actress on this production has to drop out. And so Sloane is pushed to fill in that role because she can, and she agrees to do it because she wants to help out her family, and she realizes that she really misses acting and is just really enjoying her time doing that, even working with Joseph. And as they're working together, things are starting to come along with their relationship, I would say. So I think this is going to be a little bit of an enemies to lovers or a hate to love romance. So it sounds adorable. Next is The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. This one also came out in May, so it's already out, and I have not read it yet, but Christina Lauren is one of my favorite authors. I absolutely love this writing duo, and they do romance very, very well. So this follows our main character, who is a single mom, and she ends up signing up for this dating service where it actually matches you based on, I want to say, your DNA. I think it's something like that. And it just gives you your best match. And she ends up realizing that she is paired up with the creator of this dating app or this dating service, who she actually doesn't like. She doesn't like him. However, they get this proposal to kind of be the faces of this, to say, hey, this actually works, and kind of pretend to be into each other to save face for this whole service. And so she agrees to do that because they offer to pay her to do this. So they're like paying her to date him, basically. And she takes him up on that offer because she needs the money. And I believe things are going to happen from there. So I've heard good things about it, though. So I'm excited to read it. The next one is Rosaline Palmer Takes the Cake. I have to say that very slowly. If I try to say it too fast, I can't say it. This is by Alexis Hall. And Alexis Hall wrote Boyfriend Material last year, which I absolutely loved. That was one of my favorite books of last year. So I knew I wanted to read more by him. And this is his newest release here. And I think he has another one coming out later this year that's like a Renaissance type of book from what I'm understanding. So I'm going to look forward to that too. But this one in particular follows Rosaline, who is a single mother again, and she is entering to be on this cooking show, or like a baking show, kind of like maybe Great British Bake Off, if you will. And she's very talented at baking. And so she wants to take that because she really, really needs the prize money for her and her daughter. And while she is there, she gets into a little bit of a love triangle thing happening. So she goes in expecting to just be completely focused on the prize. She wants to win this. She has to win this. And then she ends up getting distracted by two different men, from what I'm understanding. And yeah, so I'm very excited to read this one. It's on my most anticipated reads of the year. So I do plan to read it soon. Okay, the next one also came out in May, so it's already out, but this is How to Mars, and this is by David Ebenbach, I think is how you say his name. And this one caught my eye because it's being pitched as The Martian, but on reality TV. And I was like, yeah, I want that. The Martian is one of my favorite books of all time. I absolutely love that book. So anytime something gets compared to it, I'm like, I'm listening. So this one follows a group of astronauts who get this offer for a one-way ticket to Mars. And in return, it's going to be filmed and all of their research is going to be documented. And like basically they're going to be giving so much to science for a one-way ticket. So they are expecting to never come back to Earth, basically. And so there is a group that volunteers to go and do this. And they go, and everything is presented on television. However, it's very creatively edited, which causes it to be more of a drama, like a reality TV show drama, than scientific research. And they kind of promote it that way to make the American public interested in it. However, it's definitely going to cause problems, and it's going to cause the astronauts to start kind of acting out a little bit. And I think it's going to be a little bit drama filled that way. So I'm super, super excited for that. But then eventually some things start happening that actually are risking their lives type thing. So I think it becomes a dangerous situation at that point, but this sounds so much fun. It's actually pretty short. It's under 300 pages, but I'm excited to see what this is about. The next one is Hairpin Bridge. This is by Taylor Adams, and this came out in June, so this is also already released. I absolutely loved No Exit by this author, and have been wanting to pick up more from him. So when I saw that this was going to be his release this year, I was like, yes, I'm in. And this one follows an accident that happens on a bridge where a woman goes and seemingly throws herself off the bridge. She has a twin sister who doesn't buy a word of that story. So her sister goes to this bridge and is trying to figure out what's happening. She starts talking to the detective who is in charge of her case. She believes that he is not doing a good job, and, you know, things just kind of start going from there. So there's going to be some things that are happening that you're not expecting. There's going to be some people involved that you're not expecting. I have heard that it's definitely has the same type of feel as No Exit, which I'm really excited about because I loved that book so much. So I'm excited to read that one. The next one is The Last Chance Library. This is by Freya Sampson, and this one comes out in August. And this one follows a librarian named June, and she is dealing with grieving for her mother who passed away. June is very much she's a librarian, but she's almost a recluse. She doesn't open herself up to people very often. She would much rather stay inside and read books all day. Hi. And she has just basically made the choice to kind of close herself off from everybody and not let anybody in. However, something comes about where the library that June works is in danger of being closed down. And she doesn't want that to happen. Even though she doesn't, want to open herself up to people, she still loves her job and wants to, have the library there for people because she is a librarian and that she's very passionate about that. So she has to really make the decision to come out of her shell and to work with other people in order to prevent this from happening. And someone from her past who she knew in school is back in town and wants to help her out. It's very obvious to everybody that this man has feelings for her. It's obvious to everyone but her. And so I think some things are going to start happening from there. She starts to learn how to open herself up again. So it sounds cute. And the last one that I have is the Final Girl Support Group. This is by Grady Hendrix. I was so excited to get approved for this one because I have been wanting to read a Grady Hendrix book and I just haven't done it yet. But every single one of his books are just on my radar or on my wish list. I just want to read what he writes because I've heard such great things about his writing. And this one is literally follows a support group for final girls. So a final girl is a girl who experiences a massacre and she's the lone survivor of that massacre. So like everyone else around her has perished. She's the only one who survives. And that's a lot to take on. That's a lot of guilt that you end up feeling, kind of like the why me type thing. And so our main character joins a support group where there's other final girls who are dealing with the same type of stuff. They meet with a therapist, and one night she goes to a meeting and someone's missing from the group, missed a meeting. And then I think another one misses a meeting. And are we starting to get picked off? Has someone realized what this group is and doesn't believe that we deserve to be here? Like that type of thing. I have heard this is bloody and I'm in. I'm in for this. So yeah, I'm very, very excited for this one. And that one comes out July. So I'm excited. Okay, guys, those are all of the books that I have downloaded onto my Kindle lately. So a couple that I found for deals and then a bunch from NetGalley. So I will leave a link down below to the main place where I find my deals, which is BookBub. It is a website that you can follow. There's also an app that you can choose and you can see what kind of books are on sale for the day. Sometimes they're daily deals, sometimes they're weekly deals, just depends. But you can get alerted for those. And then I will also leave a link down to NetGalley if that's something that you're interested in giving a try. If you do have access to an e-reader and you want to try to request early books, it's a great resource. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions and I will see you guys again soon. Hope you have a great day. Bye.